Hello everyone, welcome to the Weekly Rewind presented by Attractions Magazine. This is for Monday, February 9th, 2015. I'm your host, Banksley. As always, we're going to take a look back at the past 7 days of our Twitter feed at Attractions. So let's begin on Monday, February 2nd. After their big Super Bowl win, it was announced that Julian Edelman and Malcolm Butler from the New England Patriots would be making a trip to Disneyland for a special parade in honor of the Patriots' win at Super Bowl 49. Weeki Wachee Springs shared this photo update of the renovations that are being made on their underwater theater roof to restore it back to a former version that was back in the old days. Tin Roof announced that there's going to be a huge concert in front of the Orlando Eye observation wheel on March 7th featuring Vanilla Ice and Coolio. On February 3rd, we were over at Downtown Disney/Disney Springs to check out some new stores. We saw the Walt Disney World president, George Kalogridis, walking out of this shop here. Eventually, this shop would become the Art of Shaving, which did open this past week. We'll get more to that in a little bit. Also on February 3rd, Madame Tussauds announced a Sofia Vergara figure. Of course, she is one of the stars of ABC's Modern Family. We went over to Hollywood Studios to check out the update on the Sorcerer's Hat dismantling. But mainly we were there to check out the brand new Starbucks location that had officially opened on February 3rd. The Trolley Car Cafe is the name of it. And just like the other Starbucks at Walt Disney World, it has, in the parks at least, it has two lines that separate at the entrance to help alleviate from long waits. They also are selling the You Are Here collection mugs. This is the one for Disney's Hollywood Studios. There's also one available for Magic Kingdom. Currently, there's not one for Epcot, but they do hope to have one available in the near future. Also on February 3rd, they released a brand new trailer for the upcoming Minions movie. And then the trailer, they were hitchhiking to Orlando to attend VillainCon. On February 4th, DL Today on Twitter shared this photo of what the scrims look like over at Sleeping Beauty Castle at Disneyland in California, while they update that to reflect the diamonds that are going to be for the 60th anniversary. Really beautiful artwork that they have decorated on the scrim, to at least have some sort of sight for people with cameras, so it's not just some sort of blank wall. BioReconstruct shared this photo of the Cinderella Golden Coach from the live-action movie that's coming out on March 13th. It's on display now at the Streets of America at Hollywood Studios. Theme Park Review shared this announcement from Fun Spot that the White Castle food truck will be at Fun Spot in Orlando on February 19th and 20th, and the Kissimmee Park on the 21st and 22nd. We shared this Vine post of the final passenger capsule being moved into place at the Orlando Eye on February 5th. This was the day where they finally had all the capsules put into place with a special media event. We also got a look inside the main area, the terminal as they're calling it, for the Orlando Eye, which will also have the entrances for Madame Tussauds and the Sea Life Aquarium. But it looks like there's also going to be a little restaurant area featuring a Chicken Now, Little Italy, DJ, and China Max when it eventually opens. No word if there may be any more offerings aside from that. Also on February 5th, Designing Fear on Twitter shared this photo of the Mardi Gras shirts that are now on sale at Universal. Mardi Gras did start this past week on Saturday. February 5th also marked the final day that guests were able to trade Vinymations at locations around Walt Disney World. You can see that here on February 5th they were having boxes just full of Vinymations for guests to pick from instead of just doing the blind boxes. Vinymations will still be on sale. They will just stop doing the trading with cast members. We were back over at Disney Springs to check out some more of the new stores that opened up over the past week. This is one of the sunglasses stores. They were having an opening special there. And as I said earlier, here's the Art of Shaving and the prices. You can get shaves, there's materials, all sort of neat stuff there. Now Disney Springs was also starting their parking meter count. Basically, above each parking space in the garage is a colored light. If it's green, the space is open. If it's red, it's used. And so at the entrance to the parking garage, you can see how many spaces are available on each level. I think that's very ingenious. I know they have these kind of things around the country, but for me personally, this is my first time ever seeing something like this, and I think this is a great idea. On February 6th, we were hanging out over at Universal Orlando. We tweeted this photo of the Superstar Parade, asking people what their favorite section of this parade is, if they've seen it, and I would like to ask that to you, our viewers. Comment below on this video and let me know what's your favorite section of the Universal Superstar Parade if you have seen it in person. Also on February 6th, Disney officially announced that Luigi's Flying Tires over at Disney California Adventure inside Cars Land would be closing and reopening in 2016 as a whole new experience. Here's your Sorcerer's Hat dismantling update for February 6th, shared by Aaron's Pod on Twitter. FunSpot shared this aerial photo of the construction for their, as they say, jawsome gator spot at the Orlando location. Definitely see work is really moving forward on this one. Speaking of aerial photos, BioReconstruct on Twitter shared this photo from the Shanghai Daily paper of the construction for Shanghai Disneyland. It was announced that the opening has been moved to early 2016. On February 7th, we shared this photo of some Oswald merchandise that you can find over at D Street in downtown Disney. Also on February 7th was the Polar Plunge, the annual Polar Plunge over at Aquatica, and the team NXT from WWE's NXT were there for the charity event. We shared this photo of the construction over at the Polynesian Resort. You can see some of the bungalows there. That will be the DVC part there. Sonya Eclipse was also being refurbed over at Tomorrowland. No word on how long this will be refurbed. Also under refurbishment at Magic Kingdom is Under the Sea Journey of the Little Mermaid. That's expected to reopen in early March. We also found some new Magic Bandits for sale when we went over to Animal Kingdom on February 8th. You can see here there's some Frozen-related ones now. And we shared this Vine post of something you don't really see every day at Animal Kingdom, an animal getting groomed. Unique little thing you can see behind the scenes when you're over at Animal Kingdom. Also at Animal Kingdom on February 8th, there's Casper Bear was out there with this stuffed bear puppet, really cute. You can see attacking the camera there. And finally, on February 8th, BioReconstruct shared this photo that he took from the Disney monorail south of the Contemporary Resort, where you can actually see the Orlando Eye all the way from Bay Lake / Seven Seas Lagoon, that water pageant canal that connects both of those areas. Definitely a huge attraction there. Well, that's going to do it for this week on the Weekly Rewind. Don't forget to tune in this Thursday for a brand new episode of Orlando Attractions Magazine, the show. We're going to have an interview with Becky from MEI Travel, as well as take you to the Orlando Tree Trek Adventure Park. So stay tuned for that one. And until next week on the Weekly Rewind, have fun, guys. See you around.